the people's mind blower. Max, how you doing?
I've been blowing a lot of people's minds.
Let's try.
Arrive at Max's gym.
Oh.
So, do you want to talk?
Alright, so we just met Max, had some coffee, and now we're going to head to the gym, get some footage, some podcasts, that sort of stuff with him. Alright, we're going straight.
Arrived.
We've arrived. We've made it, fam.
Is this the gym?
I hope so.
I can head Max.
Hi.
Good boys.
Hey, Douglas.
Good boys. Nice job, bud. Hi.
It's Sam. Nice
Good
to meet you.
boy. Nice to meet you. He's 9, and then she's 3.
9 years old.
Adapts to that, then you have a way better system than, you know, people doing the same program, but it doesn't ever change itself.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's also a template doesn't take into account your daily stresses, right? If you come in the gym and you give your little daily rating for how you feel, and the program does that and adjusts your program, the program will adjust for that, how you feel that day. That's already better than a coach.
Yeah.
Most coaches aren't going to do that until after you start training, and you know, like.
Is that like a 1 to 10 scale, or?
I don't know exactly how it is, but something along
Like
the
a
line.
smiley face,
1 to 5, yeah, right? Like smiley face and a suicide face, a noose,
It's just
smiley
a
face
noose.
and a noose all the way to the other end. Yeah, so you get like this input daily, it tracks it, all that stuff. Like the ability to track these metrics and the ability to like use them immediately is, I think, the key to making it a better product than simply a template or even a coach, right?
Yeah.
And if a coach uses it, they can augment what they're doing where, you know, you don't need to sit there and, you know, okay, I'm feeling really tired today and go in and readjust the program. Normally as a coach, you're going to be like, okay, well, go lighter.
So
right?
is there merit to, if you're trying to make it so that you can come in on a certain day and if you feel good or you feel bad, it's going to change slightly. Is there merit to using RPE within that as well, or just keep it as, it will change a percentage based on how you feel?
It won't write anything in percentages. Everything is written in actual weights.
Oh, okay.
So like it would be basing it off of a percentage or some algorithm of like, you know, we're doing 70%, but it's also adding 2 or 3 kilos to that. However it decides, but it's not going to be like, you know, nothing would be open-ended. It would say exactly what weight you did.
Okay.
And like after every set, you know, weightlifting stuff is still, you know, maybe you do your set and it would ask you how was the technique on that set, how hard did it feel?
Right.
And you give indicators, and if you're like, it's a 5 out of 5 after your 4th warm-up set, it would make adjustments, right? Or whatever, you know, exact numbers that would be. But, you know, the ability to have all that where the athlete can input information immediately and based on their own experience right away is better than what a coach can do, right? So in that regard, it's superior. Where it's not is obviously like feedback and you know, long-term planning is a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's I think we don't actually lift.
Yeah, all we do is sing. We don't know how to lift ourselves. But it's that kind of gets people feeling more confident.
Abusively light, and then when we actually get to the meet, people will just somehow muster up the ability to make big lifts.
Right. Because I've done, and I know Josh has done, we've done the programs that are just fueled on getting jacked up and really hyped up and drinking C4 and maxing out all the time.
Everybody probably goes through a lot of like men usually go through that phase where it's like this is a hard program, I'm gonna try it.
And you want to do it,
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's like whatever. I did that for like a decade.
Yeah, you did.
Just go hard as shit all the time.
Yeah.
But at some point, like
you just want to get better.
It's like it's more that like there's a definite like recipe for success, and every level of success you have above just whatever you can do in the gym that day, you know, like requires more planning and requires more fun. And so, you know, to go from like you're doing well in the gym to you're doing well at a meet to you're doing well at an American Open, Nationals, World, like those just require more levels of planning, right? I mean, you can see it even like, especially like, you know, the old Cal Strength versus what Wes does. Like, there's a lot more planning that goes into that. He's not just
he doesn't
not going on every week, you know.
Yeah.
And every lifter is, every coach is like that now. Or the top ones where you have to be more aware of like the fact that it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
And play it properly, where there's no one at the top anymore that's just randomly attacking the weights.
In the USA or in the world, you mean?
In the USA. In the world is a very different,
Very
place, you know. But Matt, I mean, same there. It's the same thing. It's just a well-orchestrated process. Doesn't mean that it's meticulous, that every single piece is planned out, but you know, there's a process to what they're doing, right? The Chinese may not have every answer, but they put they put things together well. You know, each coach there does that's successful. Whereas like we were in this place where we just didn't know what was happening. Yeah. So we were either too easy, like super afraid of it, or like, you know, fuck it, we're cowboys.
But that's what Rob said. It's like the ups and the downs were huge.
Oh yeah.
Like the peaks were amazing. Just
randomly coming in and making huge PRs.
And then there were other times where it was just quiet. People were more likely to fight. Arguments would break out and all that sort of thing. I mean, it's like,
that was a wild time. There was a lot of arguments. It was always John. It was John arguing, and it was somebody else. But whatever. I mean, young guys doing that.
Yeah. And I mean, it blew up the popularity of.
Yeah.
It was almost like the stepping stone of what was needed to advance the sport to be more professional. It was like you just had to get people involved because it looked fun.
Yeah.
Watch John doing silly things. Watch you doing a tug of war with Shanklinator.
That's the first video we put up.
Yeah, even though it's got like 10 views.
What do you guys think of Cal's thing?
I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. Do the guys in that gym like know you? They don't realize, but like, do they realize that you're like one of the most sought after coaches in the English speaking world when it comes to weightlifting?
I don't think so.
Because I saw someone in there just doing
I don't think that statement is true or accurate, but
I'm not saying you're one of the most sought after for sure. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, the podcasts you do with us would blow up more than basically
Like,
anyone.
it's Travis, you, and then like Cal Strength as an entity.
Yeah, most downloaded podcasts we have are always you and Dave. Anything that has Donnie in it, we had Donnie on once, and Zach actually. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then Sean is right in there. But it's always the coaches. It's not the athletes.
I never would see it as that. I see it as like same as everybody else, like trying to not embarrass myself with my lifters.
Well, you're doing a good job. But yeah, I just saw someone in there, and they were like doing a jerk, and it didn't look great. And I just thought, you have Max right here. Like,
I will say we
had.
It is funny, like we had, and when I was powerlifting, and there was we had some very strong powerlifters in here for a long time. Where like people would like they would never come back and ask about like squatting or anything like that. And it was probably like some intimidation maybe. Yeah. But yeah, it was always funny. Like a lady, Christy Hawkins, she squatted like 240 in sleeves. That's a 76.
Kilos?
Yeah. she moved down to San Jose to run her business, but she just did 285 in wraps.
The weekend we were there for that meet?
285.
That's huge.
The second highest squat from a woman ever.
What's the highest one now? Has any girls squat 300?
290? 295? CC Holcomb. I mean, to be fair, Christy, Google Christy and you'll know why.
Yeah.
We'll put a picture of it.
It's going to be like
wonderful lady, but you have like, you know, there's people that are super, super strong, and there's not just like an interesting like.
Yeah. CrossFit's so different.
Yeah, it's hard to relate to,
people in
right?
CrossFit, like people, we had a max out day for CrossFit today. Nobody showed up for the classes because it was a max snatch, max clean and jerk at the other gym, and nobody showed up because they don't really.
That's too bad.
But that's the best day.
I would have thought so.
Yeah, it's only a couple of reps.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, come on then, Josh.
We'll let Alex do something.
Oh. I know this is going to sound really obvious considering who your coach is, but you squat exactly how Max teaches. But like,
oh really?
knees don't shift way back forward really soon.
Yeah.
They come back nicely as you just come up through the quads instead of shifting into the back.
We work on that
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, you can really see
Yeah,
it.
good.
Really see it.
Basically what he's saying is he squat correctly.
Well, I don't.
Almost at maxes.
Do I not? You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, alright. Hello and welcome back to this week's episode of the Weightlifting House podcast with your host Seb Ostrovich, the voice of the people, joined of course by the people scientist Joshua Gibson. Josh, how you doing?
Doing very well, thank you.
Good. And joined to my left by Max Aita, aka Max from Montana, aka the people's mind blower. Max, how you doing?
I've been blowing a lot of people's minds.
Well, the last episode that we had, I think I entitled it Max Aita Mind Blown.
Oh,
Because
really?
we went into it and Josh and I were talking about like, what have we gotten onto the topic of, Josh, that we got really hung up on? Was it
Data collection.
data collection?
Ah,
And we'd just been going through coach, and we had you on and we were just like, just absolute mind overload.
it becomes a complex, right?
Interesting.
You could do anything. It could be triples, but I made it a complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of keeps going like that. But this probably has about 1,200 reps a month, is my guess.
Yeah.
Which is probably on the high end of what you'd see from like probably someone who's like a maybe national probably a woman.
Yeah.
So it'd probably be like somebody who's like top 5 at national, top 10 at nationals, that
Yeah.
kind of volume. Somebody who's like a masters or like a lower level person would probably be closer to like 1,000 reps. But it just depends
Yeah.
how they recover.
Yeah.
This is pre-written, so this was written for somebody. So this is like 12 weeks long.
And you typically write out
1 week at a time.
1 week. Yeah, you write out 1 week.
I wrote 1 week at a time. I have all these fucking messy spreadsheets.
Do you have a general kind of framework you're working in though?
Yeah, so what I do is I say, okay, what's the average volume for a month? And that's my starting point for what a week should be. An average month volume is 1,000, then we know that the average week is 250 reps.
Yeah.
So then I say, is this going to be a big week, a small week, or a medium week? And then I adjust that 250 to reflect that.
Yeah.
That's my starting point for volume.